Good morning.
We're back again. This is Laura
and Cindy from Perspectives. Today we're going to be telling you about the graduation toolbox for the class of 2009.
Yeah, this is part 2 of our graduate tips. Yeah, part 2. So, we have 5 tips for you guys today, and which is kind of like a toolbox of things you need to have when you're graduating, when you're looking for a job in PR. Number 1 is you have to know social media. Like right now, that is the most important thing you need to know. It's the hot topic, it's what everyone's looking for, but not only do you have to know it, you have to have a solidified understanding of it. You need to be able to sell it. If someone asks you, why is this influential? What's going on? What are the trends? You need to know. Right.
That's right, and you should also be able to measure it. I mean, there's a lot of tools out there that you can use for that.
You always need to know influential bloggers. You need to know what's going on in social media in order to land yourself a good job.
That's right. And the second tip would be your Bible, the AP style book.
You have to know AP in order.
You have to. This is 2004. But, you need to get the 2009 that I believe it's coming out, or it already came out, so.
Yeah, you need to study that and know it. And not only know AP style, you also need to know headline, like how to write a headline, a successful pitch. Because now if you're using Twitter to pitch a journalist, you have to be able to
do it in 140 characters.
Yeah, exactly. So practice what you're trying to say and can make it concise and try to use it on people. Practice, just on your personal Twitter right now.
Exactly.
The third thing you want to do is you need to separate your personal life from your professional life. So say you have a MySpace and you also have a LinkedIn. Those two worlds should never come together. I mean, you want to be able to portray a company in a certain way that reflects well on the brand, the company. And if your personal life doesn't necessarily do that, you need to make sure that those worlds don't merge.
That's right. And for example, on Twitter, I know a lot of people, when you're new to using that social media tool, you're confused about, how personal you can go, or, professional and personal life kind of collide there. But you have to find that balance.
Exactly. And everything you say on Twitter, it needs to have a purpose.
Exactly.
Cindy's really good at this on Twitter. She has her own brand filter. She knows what she's going to say before she writes it, and it all follows a certain flow and pattern, and that's really good because that reflects well on her personal brand, really.
Yeah.
So you need to have that in mind. Write things with a purpose.
Thanks.
You're welcome, Cindy.
That's right, and you should also be able to forecast what's the newest thing, the new Twitter, what's going on, what are the new trends that are going on. You have to be able to it has a little bit of thought leadership into it, but you should be able to forecast what's going on, what's next.
Exactly, because Twitter's here right now, but tomorrow it could be gone, and you need to know what's going to be that next thing to replace it.
That's
the
right.
Next social media platform, as it were. And also, you need to remember where emerging media comes from. It might be new to you right now, but it all comes from the same place, which is traditional journalistic values. Just because it's new, it doesn't mean it doesn't have rules. I mean, social media follows the same rules as traditional media, so you have to remember that when it comes down to it, the core roots of journalism are still there. It's about relationship building. If you want to pitch an editor, you have to build a relationship with that person, or anything like that. The point is, there's still rules and you need to follow them. Just because you're free to roam about on the internet doesn't mean that you can just disregard everything you've learned.
Exactly, and remember that if it's on the internet, it's always going to be there.
Always, and anyone can see it.
Exactly.
So remember that. So those are our 5 toolbox tools for you to use when you're graduating, and we hope that it helps you in some way, because it's certainly how we live our lives here at our agency.
Yeah, and our colleague Kwesi Robertson, he actually wrote a blog also for all of you PR grads. What's our website?
It's mstrategysinc.com, but you can click on the blog when you get there, and it'll take you to our typepad blog. And the blog entry is actually really funny. I just read it, so you guys should definitely check it out.
Exactly.
Follow us on Twitter.
At Cindy Olivera.
And at Laura Babley, and also our company is at mstrategysinc. So we'll see you tomorrow. We hope these tips help.
Bye.
Bye.